And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. It's Wednesday night, and that means advice on sex and relationships from one of the best. Dr. Angela Jones gets real tonight, talking about when it's right to give up on that relationship.
So here's the situation, Dr. Jones. There's this viewer who wrote us, a male, who said in the past he cheated on his girlfriend, like in December, and he thought they worked it out. And things went along fine until a few months later, she abruptly leaves him.
Yeah.
And this is the result of his cheating. He said he didn't see the signs, but now that he looks back on it, he realized there were signs. So what are some of those signs that you should look for if you've done wrong, or if the relationship has just run its course and someone is ready to move on?
You know, that situation actually happens a lot. You know, some people feel that once you find out you've been betrayed or cheated or lied or whatever from your partner, and they decide to stay in the relationship right after that, that means, okay, we're good, we can move forward. But in fact, what happens is when someone gets betrayed by someone, i.e. cheating, it actually takes that person time to actually process, like, what does that actually mean for them? Because as soon as you find out, I mean, you have slew of emotions, sadness, anger, and you can't really make a decision in that space, but you let some time pass and then you realize, like, this is not going to work. And then you break up or you leave the person months, and I've seen it even sometimes a year or so later after the initial betrayal. So in the signs for that, I mean, if you're the partner that actually did the cheating or did the lying or did all of that, is usually it's like silent treatment. They're stonewalling you. They're not really communicating with you. You feel like some distance, like you're not really connecting. Those are usually the telltale signs that things are not going too well.
Now, what if the relationship has just run its course and there is no cheating, and one person is like, okay, I'm ready to move on now? What signs should you look for then? And would the signs be different?
You know, there's this thing called the 4 apocalypse, right? And the 4 apocalypse are like 4 things to look for in a relationship that it's over. First one is criticism, right? When one person or both people are constantly criticizing the other person. Another one is defensiveness, meaning like they can't really take responsibility. They don't really self-reflect. They don't really care about their part in the relationship and what caused the problem. They're just like, whatever, right? Another one is contempt. And the last one is stonewalling, like I was saying, like you just don't communicate, you give them the silent treatment. So there are telltale signs, even if something didn't happen. And those are the 4 things you need to look at to see, like, I mean, do we display all 4? Are we just having one of them? But those are the things that are more likely going to end a relationship or a marriage than anything else.
And those signs are new occurrences. They haven't been happening all along in the relationship, right?
Right. So if you're just noticing like a distance, or if you're noticing like they're not communicating anymore, or they're just not around that much, or that, you tell them, hey, what's going on? Or can you take responsibility for what you have done? And they're just like, no, those usually happen kind of suddenly, but it doesn't happen suddenly for them. It's usually something that's been growing, but it may feel sudden to you.
Now, is there any coming back from that once that person has made their mind, whether it's cheating or the relationship just running its course? Is it too late to say, let's go to a counselor, or should you even try to save it? Is it over with?
If it's worth saving, I always say fight for your relationship. Is it too far gone? No, but just know that the longer you let it go, the harder it is for it to come back. So when you get to that space where you're at that place where you're hitting those markers, criticism, stonewalling, all of that, and you want to go to therapy, just know it's going to take that much more work to get you back. So as soon as you start noticing a shift, or maybe you just like need a tune-up in your relationship, I'm going to suggest you go to therapy to kind of get back on there. But no, it's not too late, but we do need 2 willing parties to want to like work on
and
it.
That's what I was going to say. What if the other person is already checked out and you truly know it, but you just don't want to admit it to yourself, and you're still pushing this therapy? Let's talk about it. Let's get counseling now.
Yeah, you could push it, but if the person is checked out, it is their responsibility to check out, right? So if they're still there, that clearly they're holding on to something, and you can try to go to therapy. All you can do is your part. Do all that you can to keep the relationship and work on the relationship, but not at the expense of who you are. Once you start feeling like you're sacrificing who you are trying to keep this relationship, yeah, you might just need to go ahead and just check yourself out, even if you don't understand their why.
And they may be still there just to save enough money to get away from your ass.
That happens, and it happens a lot, right? You know, people.
It does happen.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Angela Jones, always good to see you. For those who would like more information from you or to seek your help, how can they find you?
You can go to my website at angelajonesphd.com, or you could go to my Instagram page at Dr. Angela Jones.